Good evening and welcome to the Drive at 5 on intellectualradio.com/iHeart radio station. I'm your host, Roman, and we have a terrific show planned for you today. Don't forget to stay tuned to intellectualradio.com after the Drive at 5 for Warriors Talk with Rochelle at 6 p.m. with love and inspiration. She spreads the love Tuesday through Sunday and come back for more on Monday throughout the week to bring you a smile on that face. So Warriors Talk right after the Drive at 5 at 6 p.m. Tonight, my guest via Zoom is a certified life coach, business consultant, philanthropist, and civil rights activist. Please give a Drive at 5. Welcome to Ashley D. Williams. Welcome to the Drive.
Thank you. Thank you.
So please give intellectualradio.com/iHeart radio station your background.
So I am a philanthropist, life coach. I've been coaching. I like to tell people all of my life. Been coaching for many years now, and serial entrepreneur, civil rights activist, all things that I'm very proud of.
So, what is the inspiration for you to become a life coach?
All of my life, I have been helping people. So I've said I've had a willingness to help people, and I feel like my inspiration to actually become a coach was reaching goals, helping people reach their goals and become everything they dream of becoming just by taking baby steps.
Why baby steps?
Everybody tries to do big things at one time. So everybody wants to take on a large, they look at their goal as a huge picture, but they always miss that there are steps to be taken. You don't want to skip over those steps. So the smaller steps that you take, you don't feel overwhelmed, and you actually accomplish more. There's more accomplishment with taking those smaller steps. It's called Kaizen. It's a process that's normally used in the Ford and motor industry, but I applied it to life, which is how I came up with my business, Life Kaizen. My business name, I'm sorry.
No problem. No problem at all. You have a civil rights background.
Yes.
How did your background in civil rights prepare you for life coaching?
It allowed me to be very diverse. A lot of people see civil rights as one, especially coming from a African American community. They focus it on African American only, but it's civil rights are for everybody. We all have rights here in America. So that diversity and dealing with different backgrounds helped me to be diverse within my business and deal with different professions, different challenges as well with different people.
Please define for us, in your own words, what is a life coach and what are the responsibilities for a life
Uh,
coach, of a life coach? Because a lot of people, let's say, my executive producer, his desire to be a life coach, he coach everyone and everybody, but everybody is becoming a life coach. So define what life coach is and the responsibility of a life coach.
um, a life coach is your mentor and simply basically it is your coach. So I'm your cheerleader, and I am your accountability partner. So I hold you accountable at every stage. Um, I'm not your conventional life coach. I'm not just going to cheer you along. There's going to be times where you are going to be very upset with me because I'm going to focus on that end goal. We're going to lay it out step by step, small, tiny steps at a time, and we're going to reach that goal no matter what. We're going to go above and beyond as well.
What is the step-by-step process of coaching? You said you'll hold people accountable towards their goals. And
Yes.
and let's say, for example, uh, I'm just going to say for me, I got this COVID weight situation going on, and I want to lose like, let's say, 25 pounds because I want to get in a speedo over the summer. What how you hold people accountable as a coach?
Well, we're going to check in, especially with weight loss. We're definitely going to check in on a weekly basis. We check in twice a week, but we're going to weigh in once a week if it's a weight goal. Now, if you're trying to fit in the speedo, you probably just worried about your size, which may necessarily not deal with weight. It's your shape. So you may want to focus on weightlifting or toning, which you may not necessarily lose that 25 pounds. You may just lose inches. So we're going to focus on your body build, shape, how are you gaining weight. The same way you gain weight is going to be the same way that you'll probably lose it. Eating less, eating healthier, working out more, getting more active. And within COVID, there's so many online weight loss groups, even with the, things like the YMCA, they have online programs. But with me, we're going to find the best program for you. And I'm going to basically know your schedule and call you if I have to make sure you're awake to get to that schedule. We're going to cheer you on. If you don't make it, I'm going to discipline you in some way that we agree to. Like, oh, if I don't meet my goal or if I don't, go to my class on time, then I have to do X, Y, Z. So we're going to come up with a plan that, you're going to say, I don't want to miss my workout day. I don't want to get up late because I know Ashley's going to do, such and such, or I'm going to have to be required to do a 5-minute plank. We go there sometimes. So it may be more of an intense workout than you would normally have to do if you miss your scheduled time, basically.
So you mentioned step by step process. I know I mentioned weight loss, but now I'm going for goals. Let's say a house. Let's say for a relationship. Let's say for a new job. Let's say a car or new situation. Let's say a brand new you, a new year, a new you. What are those steps?
So I got to know what the new me looks like. Okay. So first we take the new me. Well, in this year, I want to be a millionaire. So we need to break down, well, how much do you need to make a month? We're going to break down how are you going to become that millionaire. A lot of people don't know the how, but the biggest part of being a life coach is to knowing the why. Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to become a millionaire? We have to know the background. So we're going to initially come out with a plan. Everybody has their own separate plan. It's catered to each client. And we're going to break it down weekly, monthly, quarterly, and then your deadline. We have a plan for each. So if you want to become a millionaire, I need you to be at $500,000 in 6 months or less, just to make sure that by that 12th month, you're definitely a millionaire status.
People say if you speak it to existence, it will come true.
Absolutely.
To tell you the truth, Ashley, I've been speaking $1 million into existence and still broke as hell. So, what I'm saying is, what am I doing wrong? When I speak, or someone would say, you got to speak to existence and it will come true. It's like a repetitive record. Right. Your thoughts on speaking to existence, like a millionaire, $1 million. I need this job. I want 6 figures. You see that every day on Facebook. You see it every day in a conversation. You hear people say, I'm going to speak this to existence, but nothing happens. You say to that.
And you know what? Why normally that does not happen?
Why?
Because they don't work it into existence. So people want to speak. We speak everything into existence. We leave it up to God. We leave it up to prayer sometimes, but we don't implement work without faith is it. So we don't implement the work part, which could be coming to a life coach. It could be sitting down and actually making your plan. A lot of people fail to plan. Um, we can speak, oh, I want to be a millionaire day after day, year after year. But if we don't speak that plan, if we don't take action on the plan, we will never get anywhere at all. And if you see that, yes, we're accomplishing small goals, that means you need to do it bigger. If you are making 100,000 a year, now you need to do 10 times as much to become a millionaire. Whatever you're doing is working. Now you got to do it 10 times harder and keep speaking it because it's going to motivate you to get there.
What is the what in working harder? What is the what you need to do in order? Let's say I'm making six figures already, but I want more. I want to become an entrepreneur, and things are not coming into existence. I am working hard. You say put things together, work hard at it, but it's not popping. You say?
I say why. Remember, I take you back to the biggest part of life coaching is knowing the why. Why is it not working? A lot of people don't focus on the why. Well, you're making six figures, but why aren't you making a million? Let's go back. Now we have to go back to the beginning of how you even began to make six figures. And then at what point did you start growing? And in that whole process, you will always find out why you stopped growing so rapidly, why you became stagnant. You'll find out the little piece that is stopping you from jumping ahead. So we definitely ask those why. So we can look at your six-figure budget and look at the last quarter, basically. And let's say in the last quarter, you lost 30,000. In 1 month, we got to check out and see exactly why you lost that 30,000. What happened? What happened that month? Because now we need to know not to do that again, and we're going to do it 10 times better.
Okay, we are weeks away to the new year. Many
Yes.
people use vision boards to set their goals or need a vision for them to stay focused on their goals. As a life coach, what do you say about the vision boards and the goals people set for the new year?
I say if you don't have one, you're going to fail. You put it on paper, okay? Your vision board, most people are visual people. Children, they're visual learners. But we also like tangible things we can see and touch. Okay, so if you have your vision board, you've already claimed that speaking into existence. You're doing it by picture. So you've already claimed, hey, I want this house. I want this amount in my bank account because on my vision board, that's what I have, a certain amount of money. And then, maybe I want this dog or whatever it is for yourself. And you look at that every day and it's going to be your motivation to go get it. Like you can just think I'm ready. I'm gonna go get this. This is the dog that I want. And I know that if I stay doing XYZ, if I'm only seeing 2 clients a day, I'm never gonna get this house that I see. I'm walking out my bedroom door, maybe my vision board is there on my wall. I'm never gonna get this house if I keep doing the same thing. Or if I don't listen to my coach.
So you're saying that even though you speak it to existence, even though
Yes.
you have a vision board, you got to work at it. You just can't say, okay, I put it up there, it's on the vision, it's up there, God the glory. Glory to God. That's what some people say. I'm not imitating, but let's look at this. Faith over life coaching. How you put faith and life coaching in the same realm of having faith and doing the work. And because it's again, people underestimate there's this thing called free will. And when people say, okay, I'm giving it to God, but also God gives you the free will. So can you explain the faith in life coaching?
I lead every business I have through faith. through God, and I let people know that my coaching is based on my background of faith, my belief in God. So it starts there. I'm going to have faith that you're going to succeed first. Okay. So if you don't have faith in yourself, you don't have faith in God or some other higher power, even if you don't believe you are that higher power, then you're not going to make it anywhere. So how do you put that work? When we bring up the Bible scripture again, faith without works is dead. So it's telling you there, if you don't work at it, you're not going to get it. As much as you pray, God still tells you, or whomever you believe in, still tells you that society is just not going to give anything to you. We've all learned that. Like society is just not going to say, here's $1 million. Even the scratch off ticket is going to make you buy 50 million of them before you win $2, you know. So life proves, and I just tell people that life proves that you have to do some sort of work. If you're going to a job in order to get a paycheck, you still have to work. So if you want to become a millionaire, billionaire, if you want to just get straight A's in school, you have to work towards it.
So let's say you're working towards it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden now it's not, something's a hindrance to it. So every year a person sets a goal. However, they fall short of accomplishing that goal or goals because of circumstances. How can someone accomplish their goal or goals despite circumstances that is beyond their control and possibly start from zero again? That's the thing that people worry about. They don't want to start over again. I went this far. I worked this hard. Now I got to start over again. Let's discuss some of the things like
I've been there. So that's a fear of failure. We all have fears. So you're fearing failure. Let's take it a little further ahead. You failed now, which means you've learned a lesson. So even in failure, you're learning lessons. Now you know what not to do and what to do. So I take it as be happy you failed, because that's your one step closer to reaching your goal. You've learned something. Hopefully you've taken something from that failure. It's just one step closer to reaching your goal. It's like, okay, so you failed. Now what do? You want to start all over again? Well, you've already made it to step 12. You failed at step 12. Now you can go ahead and skip instead of you working at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can go ahead and skip all of those steps and start from where it went wrong. Like all of everything worked first. The first 11 steps worked. Now let's focus on where we went wrong and we build from there. So you're not necessarily starting over again. You're just starting at a new point.
I hear this almost every single time when people apply for a job, apply for an any opportunity. They always say the same. Well, if it's meant for you, God, will will set things, and if it's meant for you, it's meant for you. And no matter what people say, it's meant for you. As a life coach, describe that saying, if it's meant for you, no matter what people do or say or something, how come he got this job or how come she got this position? If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. But in a life coach um, setting, what does that say?
Um, you're saying a lot of phrases that I would definitely use on my own. So that's saying if it's meant for you, to me, that's saying you've done everything that you could have possibly done to be the best that you can be. Okay, you've done everything, so that means it will be meant for you. You've reached your goals. You did everything that you could possibly do to be the best that you can be. Don't be in competition with anybody else but yourself. So even though you're all fighting for the same job, maybe that person had a little something different, and now that they reached that job, they've gotten that job. What's meant for you is going to be better. And that's what I truly believe. Like what is meant for you obviously was not that job. It's something greater that you worked so hard for, and now you're gonna receive it. You're gonna accomplish it because you're gonna still work. You're never gonna stop. Like you're not gonna give up.
What is like, let's say, for example, you're a giver
Yes.
and you're never a receiver, but you're a giver.
Mhm.
What, as a life coach, again, the philosophy is if it's meant for you, can somebody have grace in life coaching? Grace, if when somebody says, okay, if it's even though you don't deserve it, but here you go. In a life coaching situation, let's talk about grace.
Mhm.
Even though you don't deserve that job, even though you don't deserve that car, even though you don't deserve that money, here you go. You say,
I don't. In life coaching, we all receive what we deserve. So there's a reason why that person, even though you feel like they didn't deserve it, there's a reason why they did receive it and why they did deserve it. Okay. So grace is received differently for different people. Your grace might be receiving money. My grace may be the fact that I'm actually able to breathe again today. Um, so in other words, I like to use the analogy. We all have, say we all bake cookies. You know, you have Oreos, but you have knockoff brand that look just like Oreos. We all have the same cookie on the shelf. But if it's meant for you to sell more Oreos than it is the black and white turny cookie, we don't know what it's called, then it's meant for you to do that. Sometimes the knockoff brand tastes a whole lot better. But because that packaging is a little different, they receive that extra dollar or two for their cookie. You know, because your packaging is different doesn't mean that you may sell more cookies than the nice packaging, but you're just a little different. A lot of people see the outside of you differently, but you may taste better, you know. So I look at it as that type of analogy.
okay,
And don't compare yourself to other people's. I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, and I know it. A lot of times we want to be in competition with the next person instead of being in competition with ourselves. So you cannot grow unless you're trying to be the best person that you can be and that you were better than the day before. So when you're so focused on um, Tom getting this big promotion, but I haven't, you haven't seen what Tom has done to get that promotion. If he has done anything, because the person that's promoting him may be sabotaging him. So you don't necessarily want to envy anybody. Just envy yourself in so many words.
let's talk a little bit about that
Okay.
because we're living in a society where people are judgmental.
Yes.
People judge the clothes, the weight, the height. They judge everything, especially on Facebook. They're very judgmental. And when it comes to opportunities, like you said, how can she doesn't do crap. He doesn't do crap. You see what I'm saying? So, as a life coach, what you say in regards to people being judgmental in a life coaching situation. Let's say I'm come to you and I I need to stop being judgmental. How can you get that out of me? How can you get the judgmental out of people?
Ooh. I would say that judgmental stems from a long history of how you were raised and taught and what you've learned from society. So that may be an instance where I refer you to my psychiatrist that works along because there may be some other underlying issues. And let's say we reach that part because now we're not working on we're not working on what is here right now today. We're working with past issues as well. And that's where we don't want to blur the lines and cross into psychiatry or psychology. We want to stay focused on, yes, you're trying to reach a goal, but and that's what I want to help you with is your goal. But you're also diving into something that made you who you are, your character. So you're diving into your past life basically, and what created who you are. And that's an area where I'm not going to cross over as a life coach. I'm going to let psychiatrists or psychologists handle that part, and then we can talk about the future.
Well, the characterization
Mhm.
of people saying that you got to walk the part, you got to speak the part, you got to have what people call, sometimes the drive at five, you got to have that swag, you know,
Right.
and sometimes they're not accepting you. And I understand the psychology part of it, but as a life coach,
Mhm.
there are people saying in order to know the role, you got to be the role. You say to that?
Um, I say yes. In order for you to, that's just like knowing yourself. So if I'm a life coach and I say, or even a pastor saying this is my calling, I have to be that. Like I have to. You can't just say, "Oh, my calling is a pastor, and this is what I'm going to do," and then jump on stage, or in the I don't know what they call it, the pulpit. You actually have to start playing your role and proving to people that this is who you are on the inside. So with life coaching, it was people telling me that I was a life coach before I even chose to become one, to become certified. Um, and it was just in my character to help people and to actually help them to a point where they are reaching their goals. And I didn't recognize that. Like I knew that I could help people. I knew that everybody I talked to, we're doing great and accomplishing everything that we discussed, even when it was relationship, spiritual, financial. And it wasn't until a friend told me years ago that hey, you should either be a psychologist or a life coach because you are just that great at it. And I never thought about it, but all of my life, this is what I've done. So this is how I've always carried myself. And if that's something, if you want to be a football player, if you want to be a millionaire, maybe you don't know any millionaires, but maybe you should read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Um, that will teach you how to become a millionaire. You just have to walk that part.
The saying goes right now on Facebook that, you know what, you can eat at the table, you know, just not my table. You heard that saying before, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so can you explain a little bit about that? Because it just seems like now people are coming from different angles. Like, okay, the people in the characterization, you are what you represent. And kind of like what Maya Angelou says, when a person show you who they are once, believe them.
Believe them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
believe them. And when people say, okay, I want you to eat at a table, but not just my table. For a life coach, what does that mean when a person says that and they broadcast it on Facebook or broadcast it on that? To me, and I'm just saying, this is the judgmental side of it. To me, it's just saying, okay, you want a small circle of friends, or you want a small circle, or if people are not talking your language, you don't want to be bothered. You say to that.
That sounds great. That's a good perspective. Um, so I have a small circle. Is one way to look at it. and I'm just going to maintain my circle. And I don't mind you eating. That's when a girl, I love what you're doing. Go ahead, but you can't join me because we're tight knit, and it's hard to build trust with people. So that's understandable. But then you have the people who saying you can eat at the table, just not mine, because there's some kind of snake. Um, I don't want to say mischievous thought behind it. You have to worry about those people that want to see you doing good, but not doing better than them. So that's how another way that I see it. So it's either they want to see you doing good. It's like, girl, you doing great. Like she the bomb, but I have to be the best. So I see it as that, or my circle is tight and I'm good with the people that I've come this far with. It's two different ways you can see it.
What is the difference between textbook life coaching versus face to face life coaching? The textbook style in chapter 13, it says da 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 da, but Ashley says da 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 da. What is the difference between the textbook version of life coaching and the face to face version of it?
The textbook version looks like I'm your cheerleader. Yay. I'm just going to cheer you on the whole time. That's textbook. That's not me. I'm going to make you mad sometimes because I'm going to look at you. I'm giving you 3 seconds to do your little spiel, your crybaby version of yourself, like whatever you want. And then we're going to leave it at the door, literally. And we're not going to discuss the negatives because we want to have a positive note the entire time. So we're going to discuss a little of the negative. I'll give you 3 minutes. And then we're going to go ahead and reach those goals. So that non-textbook form is, hey, she just chewed me out a little bit because I didn't do what I said I was going to do. She just, put me on. I call it a punishment for some adults, say with the finance. Some people overspend. So now to put you on a budget because you decided to spend an extra $300 or $400 on some Gucci sandals or something. We're now going to be on a budget that you're not going to like, and you're not going to like me because of it. And since I'm your accountant as well, you're really going to not like me. And according to the textbook, I should just be patting you on the back and telling you that it's okay. You'll do better next time. And with me and myself, I'm not going to tell you you're going to do better next time. Because truth is, if you're not going to listen to me this first time and I don't take a hold of it, you're probably not going to listen to me the second time. So we're going to hit that, we're going to take care of that right now, nip that in the butt.
Let's say I'm a goal oriented person and I'm getting myself together. A lot of people say, you know what, I'm going to pay my debt down for 2020. I'm going to get all that spending out of me, but come midnight, that's it. I'm going to eat this last hoagie, submarine sandwich, this ding dong or ho ho, and that's it. Um, when people set deadlines and say, okay, 12 midnight, that's going to start. As a life coach, and you heard this before because I see you smiling, what you say to that when people do those type of things in 2021? I'm going to have my vision board, but it's still December 31st. It's still the 30th. I got a couple of more, I got a day or two,
Right.
I'm going to get the party out of me. And then 12 o'clock hits and you say what?
12 o'clock. I say that does not work. If you don't go cold turkey with whatever you're doing right then and there, make a decision, you don't really have faith in yourself. That's what I say to that. Because if you really want to lose weight, if you really want to build your savings, you're going to start right then and there. And there's nothing that you can do. Like you can start on January 31st, but you've already said, well, it's not that important. when you took the time to say, I'm going to wait to do it. I'm going to wait to start saving. I'm going to wait another week. You're saying it's not that important right then and then. So if it's not important for you to start right now, it's never going to be important. It's not going to be that important for you to actually stick to it for the whole year. And it's understandable if it's like my finances, I won't have the money until the end. Some people aren't that strict on their budget where they won't have the finances until the end. Only if I see that you've been budgeting for a year at least, then I would say okay to that deadline because you have that habit already to budget to not spend. But if you never saved and you never attempted to lose weight, and then all of a sudden you just don't start doing it January 1st, it's not going to work. It's not at all. So I say don't do it. If you want to do something, you start today with a baby step.
Let's say I'm a goal oriented person and I'm getting myself together. However, I keep on making the wrong decisions in my life because of relationships. Or here's a good one. I'm listening to other people that 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 made me move downwards instead of forwards. Now I'm stagnant in my life. Remember, we had a discussion earlier about stagnant. What about the people who make the wrong decisions in their life and now they're stagnant in their life? They want to move forward now, but they always make the wrong decisions.
Well, yes. And that's where your life coach comes into place. So now we look at the patterns of the wrong decisions, wrong relationships, wrong people, and we go back to the why you made that decision. What caused you to date the same type of guy? What caused you to buy another pair of these $1,000 shoes? Like what was it? We have to get down to the why. And then we go to let's not do it again, basically, in so many words. Go down to the okay, this is what caused you to buy these $1,000 pair of shoes again. So this is what we're going to block. We're going to block that negative person. We're going to block that negative energy. And we're going to say it's okay. We feel a little bit, and we're going to keep working towards it. So you don't want to stay dwelling in one area.
What if I have a person in my life that constantly making the wrong decisions and they want to give that person in their past another chance to come into their life? He or she say they will change. Baby, I understand. Baby, I know. I love you come income tax time. I
Absolutely right. No, don't they love you then? No.
I love you. You know, we got history together, baby. We got something going on. Remember, me and Mrs. Jones, we got a thing going on there. So they will change because their heart and feelings towards that person is there. That means they totally didn't give that up. You say to that again, making the wrong decisions. They want to know them, but it's kind of like, baby, please, baby, please.
Baby, who do you love more? So yes, we go through it. A lot of us have been through it ourselves. But you have to think, who do you love more? If such and such you've been with for 30 years, the little boo thing, decide that he want to come back into the picture or she wants to come back into the picture, and she'll change this time. If you didn't change the first 15 times, what's going to be the difference now? And at that point, you're going to say, I don't want you playing with my life anymore. Like, I'm not going to give you the chance to play house or play whatever games anymore. I don't care if you did change because at this point, you wasted X amount of time of my life, and I'm not willing to let you waste another day. So you have to be that strong. Like I don't even care if you change at that point. Thank God you did. Good for you. I'm gonna keep on going in the direction that I've gone in. So you have to leave boo thing alone.
What about soul ties? What about, I got a baby by him, and I got a baby by her, or something along those lines, and I want them, I want to be a family, so to speak. You heard that before. That's why you're looking at me like
All
that.
the time.
So
All the time.
so
I mean,
we want to
yeah.
be like the Cosbys. We want to be like the Waltons, and Little House on the Prairie type of feel. Us holding hands. I call it the cool it now moment. Holding hands and walking down the street. Doop de doop de doop de doo. And you say what?
Oh, so you want to be the, you said the Cosby's. I say if you wasn't on the Cosby path before you decided you want to be the Cosby's now, it's not going to happen. I don't care what you do. The soul tie, yes, you have children together, but your relationship with the parent is not your relationship with your kids. That parent can have their own relationship with their kids. That's their soul tie. You have your relationship with your kids. Nothing you guys do together. Yes, you create a beautiful life, beautiful beings, but we have to know that those are separate lives. Those are separate relationships. Even if you have one daughter, your relationship with your daughter is not the same as your relationship with your son. And even though that person helps you create that beautiful life, your relationship with that person is not your relationship with all three of those people. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to separate all of those relationships individually. Otherwise, you would get confused and say, oh, this is what I want. But that may not be the significant other's same goal or dream. How they feel about the kids may not be the same as yours. So you can't, it has to be a togetherness vision. Um, it has to be a vision together.
How can you get that togetherness vision? You said it has to happen in the beginning,
Yes.
but how you get to that point?
Talk. Everything has to be done with discussion. Like you cannot assume somebody wants the same thing as you because um, y'all have good relations. Like you can't assume that because we play video games all day together or we build houses all day together that our end goal is still the same. So if you do not have an open, honest conversation with the person that you are dating, and it definitely has to be honesty, you will never know what this person is actually wanting. And then sometimes people will lie to you and tell you, what they want just so they can have you. And that's where the power of discernment comes from. You have to be able to read that person. And I'm sure if you have children with them, you know their habits. We tend to ignore somebody's habits a lot because we love them. We see their potential. And you can't fall in love with the potential of somebody or what something can be. You have to take it for what it is right now, today, and just assume that that's what it's going to be for the rest of the lifetime.
Depression is up this time of year. Also, depression numbers are up because of COVID-19. People would say, I miss my family. I lost a loved one this time of year, or someone died recently. In the holidays, we have this tradition. As a life coach, how you handle the depression or missing a loved one, especially during the COVID-19 situation. Again, we talked about mental illness earlier, that there's a thin line that a life coach needs to walk before they refer to a psychologist. What would you say to that about the depression this time of year and people are going through a depressive state?
We do know that depression is high. First, I want to say if you feel that you need help, um, and even if you're just afraid to get it, you have to reach out to somebody. Reach out to a specialist. If your depression is so much that it's even suicidal, please seek help. and seek those that will help you and not just sit there and talk to you and talk about you. Okay. Um, but as far as depression, I encourage everybody to utilize Zoom, utilize Facebook Live, whatever channels they have to see your face, because we all love to see smiles, and give virtual hugs. Depression from not seeing your family, that's an easy fix. A video, a smile, a text, and a virtual hug is always great. And even sending postcards and messages, because we got ways to send mail to each other. So a surprise postcard, a surprise picture would definitely help.
We're trying to can you say something, because it sounds like your sound is was going down and we couldn't hear the last part of what you were saying.
Okay. I was saying that even if you send a postcard or sending out a picture, because a lot of people have gotten away from sending mail, it'll be beneficial. But also looking at inspiration videos, messages, anything that's positive, and start your day off with that. That would definitely help with your depression. Every morning, I lead my life with a daily devotion or some type of inspirational message, somebody that encourages me to stay focused, and that person or people definitely keep me going throughout the day. So you have to find something that makes you happy, even if it's a picture of your cat. Find it, watch it all day. Happy, yeah.
So please give intellectualradio.com slash iHeart radio station where they can get in contact with you, where they can get a hold of you, and anything that you else you wanted to say to the intellectualradio.com audience.
Well, if anybody wants to reach me, they can definitely contact me through ladyworks1.com, through my manager. Also, definitely go log on to Life Kaizen. That's LifeKaizen.org. That's my direct page. My business phone number is there if you want to reach me. It is 815-821-8389. And anybody can call me, email me, and I can definitely do a free consultation to get you started. And I would love to hear from a lot of people. Um, that aside from that, I just want to make sure everybody keeps voting, so you can protect your civil rights.
Okay. Don't be a stranger to the drive at five, okay? Ashley D. Williams, life coach, certified life coach, business consultant, philanthropist, and civil rights activist. Thanks for joining us, and please don't be a stranger to the drive at five. Thank you
Thank you.
so much. No
All right.
problem. Before we go on the drive at five, we will leave you with two songs. One is a Philly native, the artist by the name of Cameron Warren. The title of the song is Out of Control. And we have an exclusive intellectualradio.com Christmas song with Chicago's very own Sean White. The song is entitled For Christmas, and you heard it here first on intellectualradio.com. Thanks to Earl Winfrey, our executive producer. Wanda, who's behind the scenes. I'll see you guys next week, everyone. Have a good week. The decisions we have to make and the chances we have to take, even when it's dark, the sun will shine tomorrow. Just give it some time. Just give it some time. Time show me your way home. Even when I'm there, you're never alone. Once again, always have to end so soon. Oh, out of our hands, out of our control. Out of our hands, out of our control. I know, it's tough pill to swallow, but we'll be fine tomorrow. We'll be fine tomorrow. Listen, you know the words to say. Look up, just look up, and you're sure to find a way. Time to show you your way home. Even when I'm there, you're never alone. Why is it good always happening so soon? Out of our hands, out of our control. Out of our control. Out of our control. Oh yes it is. Out of our control. We are not lost, we are wandering. Just trying to find our way. Yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Even I'm there, you're never alone. Always happening so soon. It's out of control. It's out of control. It's out of our hands, out of our control. Out of our hands, out of our control. Out of our hands, out of our control. Oh, yeah. What I want for Christmas is your body, your body, your body. Oh, shake it. What I want for Christmas is your body. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, shake it. What I want for Christmas is your body. Yeah. Laid on a bed, all wrapped up for you. Can I peek inside just a little bit? Oh, yeah. It's just what I wanted. Oh, yeah. And I can't wait to play with it. It's a 11:45, girl. I'm so patient. Steady hitting them Christmas bells, girl. I'm growing so impatient. And I've been waiting all day for this present. Can't wait till 12 o'clock hits. Your body, all I want for Christmas. Yeah. Your body, all I want for Christmas is your body. I'ma rub it, I'ma kiss it on the mistletoe. Your body, I'ma take you to a place where only lovers go. Now one rapid, once 12 o'clock hits, then I'm gonna play with it, do it all the tricks. And I'ma take my time with it, vibe. I'ma grind real slow with it for Christmas, for Christmas. It's 12 o'clock on the dot, time for me to pay. I see you came with lingerie and such a pretty face. No bottle shape, bring your head down to your waist. Came with more accessories, like the tattoo from Belize. Jimmy Choo's all on the feet, and your nails done back with teeth. And your body's like a beach ball, I'ma take you in the deep. I'ma cover every cranny, honey body, till it's sweet. And I'll do it while the Christmas bells ring. Your body, all I want for Christmas. Yeah. Your body, all I want for Christmas is your body. I'ma rub it, I'ma kiss it on the mistletoe. Your body.
I'ma take you to a place where only lovers go. Now on that once 12 o'clock, yes. Then I'm gon' pay it, oh yes. And I'ma take my time with it, vibe. I'ma grind real slow with it, for Christmas, for Christmas. Ooh, 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 ah, yeah. For Christmas, for Christmas. Ooh, 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 ah, yeah. For Christmas, for Christmas. Oh, yeah.